The babysitter who answered the wrong call. Before we start tonight's story, hit asterisk subscribe, tap the bell, and drop a like if you love true horror that feels a little too real. And if you make it to the end, comment, "I'm still awake" below, so I know I'm not the only one who heard that call. It's been 6 years since the night I stopped babysitting. I used to love it, easy money, quiet houses, snacks in the fridge. But all it takes is one wrong job to make you never answer another babysitting ad again. The family's name was asterisk the Parkers. Nice people, the kind you trust right away. They lived just outside of town in a 2-story colonial home on a cul-de-sac, surrounded by woods. They told me they'd only be gone for a few hours, a dinner party, nothing major. Their daughter, Lily, was 5. Sweet kid. Liked coloring and those talking dolls that never shut up. They left around 7:15 p.m. I remember because the dad made a joke about how he didn't want to miss the good parking spots at the restaurant. I laughed. That was the last time I saw either of them. The first hour was peaceful. Lily was in her pajamas watching cartoons. I was scrolling my phone, half listening to the dishwasher hum in the kitchen. Around 8:30, I tucked her into bed, left her door cracked open, and went downstairs. The living room lights were dim, cozy enough to make me start to nod off on the couch. Then the house phone rang. It startled me because who even uses landlines anymore? The sound was old-fashioned, that shrill, echoing tone that slices right through silence. I picked it up. "Hello." Static. Then a faint male voice. "Don't go upstairs." I froze. "Who is this?" Click. The line went dead. I stood there for a second, heart pounding. Maybe it was a prank. The Parkers didn't seem like the type to have enemies, and this house wasn't near any kids who'd pull that kind of thing. I hung up, shook it off, and decided to check on Lily just in case. As I started up the stairs, the phone rang again. I picked it up faster this time. "Listen, whoever this is, it's not funny." But before I could say anything else, the same voice spoke again, calm, clear, and close. "Don't go upstairs." Click. That time, I didn't move for a whole minute. Just stood there in the hallway listening to the hum of the refrigerator and the soft ticking of the wall clock. Then I realized something that made my stomach turn. I hadn't said a word after picking up the phone. There's no way he could have known I was going upstairs. I called Mr. Parker's cell. No answer. Called again. Still nothing. The house phone was silent now, its light blinking once before fading out. I decided to walk upstairs anyway, carefully, quietly, because I couldn't leave Lily alone if someone really was outside. Her door was still cracked open, a line of soft yellow light spilling into the hallway. "Lily," I whispered. No answer. When I pushed the door open, my throat went dry. The bed was empty. The blankets were thrown back. Her favorite doll was sitting upright in the middle of the mattress, eyes glowing faintly red in the dark. I ran to the window, still locked. No sign of anyone outside. Then I heard the TV downstairs turn on loud, cartoon voices echoing through the floorboards. That's when the house phone rang again. This time, I let it ring. But it didn't stop. Over and over, the shrill sound cutting through the noise of the TV. I finally picked up, shaking. "Where is she?" A pause. Then, in the same steady voice, "You shouldn't have gone upstairs." Click. The TV turned off. I stood frozen at the top of the stairs. I could hear faint movement from the living room, like footsteps, but not heavy ones. Slow, careful, dragging slightly, like someone trying not to be heard. I crept down a few steps, holding my breath. From where I stood, I could just see the bottom of the staircase and the hallway beyond. And that's when I saw the foam cord, stretched tight across the floor, leading toward the kitchen. Someone had moved the base of the phone. Every hair on my body stood up. I backed away, trying to think. My car keys were on the counter by the front door, 15 feet away. I could grab them, run, and call for help outside. I took one step down, then another, and then I saw movement in the kitchen doorway. Not Lily, not a shadow, a shape tall, still, barely visible in the dim light. They were holding something, the house phone, cord dangling from their hand. They tilted their head, then slowly lifted the receiver to their ear and whispered, Don't go upstairs." I turned and sprinted. I didn't stop running until I hit the front door. I fumbled with the lock, but it was jammed. I swear, it had been fine earlier. Behind me, the footsteps started moving faster. I ran for the sliding glass door in the dining room and threw it open so hard it almost shattered. Cold air rushed in as I bolted into the yard barefoot, tripping through the grass. The woods behind the house swallowed me whole. Branches whipped my arms. The ground was wet and uneven, but I didn't care. I just kept running until the house lights disappeared behind the trees. I found a neighbor's porch light maybe 10 minutes later and started pounding on their door. By the time anyone came out, I could barely speak. They called the Parkers, who rushed home immediately. When they checked the house, nothing was stolen. No sign of forced entry. And Lily, she was found asleep in the downstairs guest room. Door closed. Lights off. She said she'd woken up during her show and saw someone who looked like Mommy tell her to come sleep downstairs. Except Mrs. Parker never came back inside after leaving. They moved out a month later. The house has been empty since. Sometimes I still think about that voice. How calm it was. How it always knew exactly what I was doing. And the part that gets me the most? The landline. The Parkers swore they didn't have one installed. If you made it this far, comment, "I'm still awake" below, because that means you survived tonight's story. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications, because tomorrow we're going somewhere even darker. Sound of phone ringing once, then cutting to silence.